Hello, hi, hope you're doing all right. Welcome to another no-code tutorial. My name is Paul No Code. I always teach you how to build fascinating products, fascinating automations with no code. Today, I want to solve your landing page problem. That's why I want to show you how to build awesome high conversion landing page with Framer. Framer is a very cool tool. I discovered Framer a couple of months ago, and it's been really good. It's a tool that allows you to build very stunning website in record time. Website that's fast, website that's cool, websites that really convert even if you do not know how to code, right? So this is Framer, and I'm going to show you what a cool converting website looks like, right? I know this depends on the industry that you are, but give or take, you would likely want to have all your website have this feature, at least all or more of this feature. So this is a tool I got from one of the best landing page designer on Twitter. She's one of the best landing page designer on Twitter, and it says, for your landing page to really convert a lot, you must have a Nav Bar, right? You must have a Nav Bar, and you must have a CTA, right, that is sticky. So when I mean sticky, so irrespective of how the person scrolls, it's going to be there. I'm going to show you what that looks like in a few minutes. You also need to have a heading, right? A cool heading that explains what's your unique selling point, what is that you're selling, and it has to be benefit driven. No vague word. You don't have to be clever. Just make it something that people can resonate with. And then you need a CTA, a call to action that explains what your users are going to get when they buy from you. You need a hero video that explains what's the next step, and then you need social proofs, you need benefits, lots of benefits, you need how it works, you need testimonials, FAQs, call to actions, and links, links on the footer. Those are links like copyright, privacy, logo, and the rest. So you basically need all of this in a landing page because you want your users to take action on that landing page. You can have more. I've seen landing pages that have a whole lot more stories. They have hundreds and hundreds of testimonials. You can definitely have more, but you want to make sure that for every landing page you create, you have all of this ready to go. Right, so I'm going to put it there. And I'm going to just put it on one of my side PC here, so I'll be able to reference it as we go. So let's do this. This is Framer, right? If you don't have a Framer account, you do well to register using the link below. It's definitely free. Everything you want to do on Framer is free until you decide to publish the site to the internet. It's free. And believe me when I say, if you are just getting started, you can begin to use Framer for your website, for your landing page, for your product pages, and everything else, right? You just need to give it a spin, and before you know it, bam, you definitely know everything else, right? But if you are just getting started and you don't have so much time to, walk through from the beginning to the end, or you don't have so much time for practice, I have this free Framer too, right? I have this free Framer template that I've created. I've created it, and it goes with the landing page framework that I just shared with you right now. It follows that particular landing page framework, right? You can use it. It's cool. You can use it. Testimonials, FAQs, and everything you find there. Pricing. You have a blog, and you can even read the blog. So everything is formatted. It has a landing page style. You will find this at the bottom of this tutorial, and you can remix it. So Framer has this thing called remix, where you can use anything I create and you can use it for yourself, right? So you can remix it and start from here instead of starting from scratch, right? This can work for any type of product, right? Any type of product, any type of business, it's definitely going to work. So let's get started building website with Framer. Landing page, actually, because it's just going to be a single landing page, because I think if you know how this landing page thing works, you'll be able to build almost anything, right? And also, let me show you where you can get some very cool landing page ideas. I like this particular website. It's called Landing Page Folio. You can get whatever type of landing page you're looking for. Thousands and thousands and thousands of them. You'll find them here. They're very cool. You can find different landing pages for marketing, for business, for software, technology, mobile app, freelance. So you see, these are all landing pages, tons and tons of landing pages. So you can find a lot of inspiration from here, and you can begin to build something that's cool, right? So let's pick one landing page to reference, right? Let's pick a landing page to reference, and we don't have to build everything word for word, but we're just going to reference it. And besides, this is a beginner's tutorial, so I wouldn't expect you to get everything, you know, from start to finish, right? So this is a landing page. You would see it does follow the sequence. So we have the headline, we have the secondary text, we have the call to action, and then we have some social proof, we have, you know, cool stuff, how it works, what it's going to do for you, benefits. We have a whole lot more benefits, you know, a lot of it, right? So let's go ahead and build something. We're just going to remix a couple of websites. We'll remix this one, and then we'll remix this one, and we'll just put everything in perspective and show you how a landing page works. So why the one thing that we have in that framework is a sticky nav bar. So you can see this nav bar in itself, it's sticky. So you can see it's sticky top, right? It's sticky top, and that's what we're going to do. This right here, it's for announcements. If you have a good sale, you have something that you want to show your user, you want them to subscribe to something, you know, you can just announce it, right? So let's get started. Remember, you need to have an account. You don't have to pay. It's free to get started, right? So in order for us to begin, we will need to click on our desktop. So you see desktop, but Framer has something called a breakpoint. If you click on this, you can have the tablet breakpoint. If you click on the tablet again, you can have the phone breakpoint, right? Don't worry, you don't have to change this breakpoint. They're already set. It's cool. You're already set, especially if you're just beginning your journey of building websites, right? Let's start from the top. The top is the nav bar. Let's start from the nav bar. We would insert a row, right? We will insert a row in here. This is a row. And don't forget to add a name here, nav bar. We're just going to add a name, and that's it. We call it a nav bar. And time will not really permit me to tell you, to show you how to set up your styles. You need to set up your styles, like color styles, you know, all of this. You need to set all of this, right, before you get started, or you would have to be pasting your colors one after the other, which is going to slow you down a lot. So let's go back. So we have this, and we're going to set our height to, this, and we'll set it to 48. Right, we set our height to 48, and we will take, then we will click on our desktop, right, and then we'll set the layout, right, click on layout, and then we'll set it to start, and we'll set everything to go from top to bottom. So the direction is going to be from top to bottom. Distribution is going to be start, right? So let's click on our nav bar. A nav bar here, we're just going to make it feed content, right? So you can see the content here is this frame, right? The content of this nav bar is the frame, and it's 48 px, right? That's what we have on the frame. Then for the width, we're making it fill, you know, from side to side. That's what we're doing for the width. For this nav bar, the width, we're just going to make it fill so it goes from side to side, right? That's what we're going to do right there. And I'm just going to zoom in. I'm going to zoom in a bit right there. Can zoom in and click on this nav bar. Okay, let's just turn this to feet. Let's turn this to 80. Let's turn this to 80. And the frame inside, we just make it fill, so it fills everything. And this is where it's going to get pretty interesting. We'll need to put a test in there that we're gonna call that test logo, right? But before then, click on this nav bar, click on this frame where we're gonna have everything, and click on layout, and distribute is gonna be from left to right. So that means we have a row. That's what it means, right? We have a row. That's what it means. And we'll put in, click here, we'll put in another row inside of it, or we'll put in a frame. So let's put something called a frame instead of a row. So it's just a single box we're tackling here. So there's a frame, we'll put in another frame, right? And then we'll put in another frame. So here we have 3 different frames. One is going to be, this first frame is going to contain our logo, right? This second frame is going to contain our links, and the third frame is going to contain the CTA. So we have logo, we have links, and then we have CTA. So for the logo, I'm just going to use something pretty straightforward. I'm going to call it Unify. Put my test here. I'm going to call it Unify. And then also I'm going to drop in an icon. So insert an icon. I'm going to drop in an icon right here. So this is my icon. I'm going to turn it to 27 by 27. That's my icon. And I'm going to put it right there. Right? So we have this Unify, and my font, I'm gonna make the font a P1 font, or I can make it a H6, so it's pretty awesome. So for my logo color, I'll change my logo color to my primary color, and this is gonna be my primary color, right? That'll be my logo color. And so change my layout, and it's gonna be my start, and I'll make everything go to the start. So everything is going to start right now, right? So that's our logo, and here we're going to add a link to it. We'll click here, put the link. It's going to be our about, right? That's the first link. Double link. That's, don't worry, you can't see the link right now, but it's right there. About, we're going to add pricing. We'll double the link. And okay, let's make you see it. It's because the layout itself is not turned on. That's why you're not seeing it, right? And then we're going to have benefits, or we can have how to, right? So those are all links right there in the middle. And lastly, right here, we're going to have a button, a call to action button. That's what we're going to have right here. Okay, so when you keep designing, you're going to have a lot of assets, right? But right here, you'd have to design everything from scratch. You're going to have lots of assets that you can use, but you would have to design everything from scratch right now. Assets are features that you can reuse. So you can see I have a lot of assets here, but I'm not going to use them for the sake of this tutorial. They are features that you can use over and over and over again, right? So let's put a button right here. Let's put a button right there. Click on layers. I'll take this away. I'll look for insert. I'm going to look for a frame. I'm going to put a frame in here. Right, this is going to be my button. Start free trial. Right, start free trial right now. That's going to be my button, and I'm going to add some sort of a. So I'm going to click on my stock, and I'm going to add a padding, right, of 4 all around, and I'm going to add radius 6. I'm going to add 6 right there, and for my height, I'm going to make it, for my height, let's see, this right here, I'm just going to make it fill, not fill. Control Z. Okay, so we have our start, we have our logo, and this right here, I'm just going to make it fill, so we go from end to end. This right here, I'm going to make it fill, so we go from end to end. And also this right here, I'm going to make it fill, so it goes from end to end. And click here, and I'm going to make it 55, like some standard button. And for the width, I'm going to make it 160. Right, so we have that. And now I'm going to take all the colors away. I'm going to take this away. I'm going to take all the colors away. For the logo, I'm going to make it transparent. I'm going to make this transparent. And for this CTA, I'm also going to make it transparent. So now we have just the logo. We have the CTA, and then we have the links, and we have the icons. Right? So let's go. We're going to change this. So let's go for the fill. Change this to a very cool color, this one. And right here, we're going to change this to white. Let's see how white's going to look like. No, not good. But let's see how this is going to look like. But we'll come back here to our Nav Bar. Change it to a dark blue. Change it to a dark blue. And this right here, we're going to change it to, change the color to white. And this right here, we're going to change the color to white. Right? And now, what are we going to change this to? So we make it a border. We'll change it to, take this away, and then we'll look for the border color, and we'll change it to our dark. And in here, we will change this again to white. So is this cool, or is it not cool? Okay, maybe they can't see the CTA, so let's look for a different color. Let's see if a different color is gonna fit right there. Let's look for a different color that's going to fit the stock for the CTA. Okay, let's look for a fill color that's going to fit the CTA. Let's look for a fill color. Yeah, let's see, color, make it a blue. Okay, so I think this is going to work, and this is fine. Then let's click here, click right here, and increase the gap spacing to 16. The gap spacing between all of them, then click on the pricing and give it a test link. Let's give it a test right there. P2, not good. Okay, let's see how P2 looks like. Let's give it a dark style. Okay, not different. Let's look for something. P1. Okay, I think this works. Let's give it a, so let's turn this to a P1. So the reason why I'm doing this is because I have a style. That's the reason why I'm doing this, because I have some style that I'm using. And it just really make things way faster than they would normally be, right? So we have this, so we have this now, and we're going to say width, we'll say fit content, right? So we'll say fit content, and then this right here, we would say fit content. So let's fit content, right? So we don't stretch too much. And this right here, we're going to say fit content. Right, so as you can see, everything is just coming together. So we have all of this coming together, but don't worry, we're gonna fix it. So we have this right here, we're just going to wrap in a stock. Right, this we're gonna wrap it in the stock, and this also we're gonna wrap it in the stock also. So they are like, they are some sort of brothers and sisters, and they are together. And then we have the parent here. We're just gonna come back here, and we're gonna say space evenly. No, we're going to Now space evenly, right? Okay, so let's click on this logo and we're going to say fill, right? So we're going to say fill, and then this right here, we're going to add spacing, gap spacing of like say 24 in between, and then we're going to add padding at the end. So we're going to add padding left, padding right, let's add the padding of 24, and let's add the padding of 24. So this is not very important, but we're just going to add it anyway, right? So we have our pricing, we have our about, and then we have our start free trial. So I think this should be a bit bold. This should be some bold tests, medium bold. Okay, so this right here, I think this should come out of the wall a bit. This right there, I think it should come out of the wall. So let's add some sort of a padding also, 24, and that should work. Right, that should work. So I'm just going to take this away. I'm going to remove this. Okay, so that's the way you would create a header, and we've created one part, which is the nerve. Next, we're going to create the hero section. Now, like you've seen right now, everything in Framework works as row and column, right? That's the way it works, and that's how you have to look at it. Row, if you want to use rows, you want to stack things side by side, then you're using a row. But if you're stacking things on top of the other, then you have to use a column, right? So let's build the hero section. If you look at this hero section, right, I'm sure you'll be able to guess what's on top of what. You can see this is a very big row, right? This is a row like so. This one right here is a row. And then we have tests, we have secondary tests, we have a call to action. That's what it is. And that's how you have to think of building all of this landing page in Framework, right? So let's come back here and we'll have to insert a layout, right? We insert a layout and put a frame. So if for a frame, there's nothing in here. There's nothing that says it's a row or a column. So for a frame, you can put anything anywhere. It's just, you can put anything anywhere. So if I bring in a test, I can put a test like this is a frame. Meanwhile, I really love this blue. This blue really looks cool. You can see I can put this frame anywhere. I can put this anywhere. So everything inside the frame is absolute. Is absolute. So I can put it anywhere. But if you want to stop a frame from behaving like this, you would have to do something. You have to give it a layout type. If I click on this layout, you would see that I can no longer put things everywhere anymore. So if I click on my test and I say this is a frame and I want to drag it. So if I want to drag it, it's still going to come back to where I left it. Why? It's coming back because of one thing. This guy, if I click on the frame itself, it's saying center. If I click start, it's going to go to the start, right? If I click start, it's going to go to the start. If I say start top, it's going to go to the start top. If I say start bottom, it's going to say start bottom, right? So let's take this away. So we click on our stack. So remember, this is our nav, and this is going to be our hero section. Click on our hero section, and I'm going to give it fill. So the width is going to go end to end. That's how it's going to go. And then for the height, don't worry, we can always change the height to fit the content later when we have something inside of it. So there's nothing in here. There's no way you can turn it to fit content. So let's add the first content, right? It'd be awesome that you group your content, right? If you come here, if you come right here, you would see that the content is in groups. So we have this and this and this. So they're all grouped. You can group in twos, you can group in threes, you can group in fours, right? So we're going to put the content first and then we'll group everything. I'm just going to copy. So what do I copy now? I'm going to copy this, right? Let's come back here. I'm going to put another layout in here, right? I'm going to put the layout in here, and I'm going to say start right there, and I'm going to click here. This is going to be my primary CTA. So it's cool that you name everything and button, right? Primary test. So primary test and button. So I'm going to click on that, and I'll give it a layout type, and it's going to be a row, right? And I'm also going to make it go from top to bottom with everything appearing in the middle, right? For gap, I'm going to give it a 24. I'm going to give it a 12 rather, and for padding, I'm going to give it a 24 all around, right? So let's put our first test in here. Put our first test in here, and I'm going to give it this, and I click on the test now. Click on the test, and I'll put it in the middle, and I'm going to give it a big H1. I'll put it in the middle right there. Okay, that's the way my first test is going to look like, and then I'll duplicate this. I'll come back here, and I'm going to put the second test in there. Ctrl V. Whoa, what's happening now? So let's come back here and give it a primary, give it a P1, right? Give it a P1, and then come back here, right? Give it a P1. So this is my test now, and my height, same fit to content, which is good, but we can have max width. We can have max width if we want to. Here, I'm going to say fit content. Sorry, I'm going to say fill. That's fine. It's just going to fill the entire place. And here, I'm saying fit content, and that's fine. So if I come back here to the main container, I can also say the height. I want it to fit content. So it's going to put everything in between. So in order for us to get this good look, so everything stays in the middle, we will need to give it a max width, right? We need to give this a max width. So let's give it a max width, right? A max width of say 70%, and that's going to be relative. And let's click on the hero and put everything in the middle, right? So we're giving it a max width of 70%, so everything is going to stay inside that 70%, right? Irrespective of the device that it is, right? But when you're building the mobile version of it, you would have to switch it. So let's add a button. A button is just a frame, right? Like we did, same thing we did here. A button is a frame with a call to action. Start free trial. So a button is a frame with a test inside of it. So normally your button will be around 55, between 40 to 55. That would be your button, and you would make it probably fit the content, but you can add padding all around. So you can say, I want to put my left padding 24, I want to put my right padding 24, right? You can have padding all around, which is good. Let's increase this to 36 and increase this to 36. So we'll give it enough space to breathe. And another thing that you want to add here, you want to add radius of 6. That's what I'm using, radius of 6. So for this spacing that we have here, I think it's because we have too much spacing ourselves. That's the reason why we have it there. And so this is the way we would do our, this is the way you would put it. And the next thing that we'll have to do is that we will need to add a video, right? This is a video. We'll need to add a video, and we'll give it a huge max width, right? We need to add a video. So let's insert, just type a video right there, and we can add a YouTube video, and we're going to add it inside. So we're going to add it inside. So this is my hero section. My hero section is acting as a row right now. I click on it so it acts as a column, right? This is the hero section acting as a column. Put everything in the middle, and right here we're gonna give it a height of 640. so it goes all the way. And our width, we're going to give it a width of 700. That's too tiny. 960. Okay, so it's a lot bigger. And for the hero, we're just going to make it fit content. Right, so this is our hero section, so we're making it right there, fit content. That's all we're doing. And we'll click on our YouTube video. We'll give it a radius of 6 as usual. Right, so now you want to take all the text away and see how cool what you've created look like. Right, so let's take all this background away. So I'm going to take this away. I'm going to take this away, and so this is what we've created, and it looks pretty good, right? It looks great. It's always great. This is what we've created, and it looks pretty great, right? This can go way more than this, so we can say we want this to fill, right? We want this to fill, and then we can use so we can say we want this to fill, and then we're going to use a max width. We use a max width, right, to control it. So we say we want a max width of 90%, and it's going to come back very, very well. So that's the hero section. For this section, we can take away the height and make the height fit the content, but it's going to be a bit smaller. But what we can do right there is that we can increase the gap, the spacing in between to say 16. So we give all of it room to breathe. But this right here, it's going to cause you trouble because this CTA, it's not bright enough. No one can see the CTA real good. So we're going to give it a purple, right? We're going to give it a purple, and in there, we're going to make it white. We're going to make it a color. We can make it a primary color, same thing, and then we would make it a semi-bold, right, to make it very, very good. This is the way our hero section look like. Next, we're going to build our social proof section. I'm sure you're getting the drift now, right? So we are done with the hero section. Now it's time for us to add a new section, and this new section, it's going to be called trust or bento. So you could call it bento section, or you can call it trust. So what we have to do, we'll do it again. We're going to add a row. So and this is going to be called trust, and this is going to be called trust, and we're going to use something called a ticker, right? So that we'll have our social proof scroll around the screen, right? We're going to have our width, fill from start to finish, and then our height. So let's leave the height like that at 140, which is cool. And then for our background, we're definitely going to make the background different. We're going to make it white, which is cool, so users are able to see what we're displaying right there. And then let's create something really cool. So let's insert. We're going to insert a grid, right? There's a grid, and we have how many? We have rows. We have one row grid. Or let's use something called a ticker. Like I said before, let's use a ticker. Insert tick. So then this is a ticker. As you can see, the ticker itself is waiting for some element. So you will have to design the ticker element outside this particular screen. For the width, we're just going to go just a minute. So we have 140 for the width. So this is the way it's going to be. So let's design our ticker outside, the ticker element outside here. Don't worry, you see me do it. It's going to be straightforward. This is our ticker, and yeah. Click on the trust element. So we did not add a layout. So let's add a layout to it. And this is our layout. So now we'll be able to give the ticker some sort of a fill from start to finish. And we're going to have this, it's going to fill it, right? So that's fine. Let's create let's add our elements. We're going to add a row like this. We're going to add a row and we're going to put an image inside of it. Insert image inside of it. All right, the image is going to be pretty small. It's going to be pretty small. Click on the frame itself and give it a layout like this. And the image is going to be inside this stack. So we say image logo 1. Logo 1. It's going to be pretty small, and click on the image here, and then we're able to generate image. So I'll tell you where to get some very good image of different brands that you can use. This is Amazon. I got this from a site called Brand Fetch. Brand Fetch, that's the name of it. So this is Brand Fetch. You could get all type of logo, food and drinks from right here. But don't put logos that you're not worked with, right? You've worked with all this logo. That's the reason why you're putting it there. So don't put something that you've not worked with. You can fetch as many as possible. You can use the plugins, and you can even use APIs to fetch all of these logos, right? So right here, I'm just going to say fit, right? Fit. If you want to, you could stretch the width, right, to fill. That's if it's still going to make sense for you. If it doesn't make sense for you, you can just leave it the way it is if it's not going to make sense for you, right? Make it like relative, and then you can do it like 70% of what you have there if it's only going to make sense for you. And then this, we're going to take off the background. It's not going to be white anymore, and we will duplicate this. So just click on duplicate to duplicate, right? So we're just going to duplicate it, take it right there, duplicate it. So we have 1, we have 2, we have 3. So we have 1 logo, we have 2. So we have, we're going to put trust 2 instead of logo. So we're not confused. Control V, trust 1. Trust 3, so we're not confused, and then we'll put it in here, right? Trust 3, and then we have our logo, we have our frame, so we're just gonna put this in here, right? So we'll take our trust 3 over here. So you definitely want to replace this with different logos. I'm gonna add Google to this. Have this Google logo. So you can change this with all the logos of your choice. It doesn't matter. And then we'll click on this ticker, and we'll click on the ticker. We want to connect the ticker to this logo, so we'll simply just drag, right? I'm sure you saw what I did. Come back here. I'm going to zoom to it, right? Click. Simply just click here and drag, right? Let's go do it again. These are the logos that you want to drag to. Click here and drag. Click here and drag, right? So I'm going to copy this again. This is going to be choice 4, and I'm going to click here and drag. Right, so the reason why we're doing this is so that we just have this thing that's flowing, because when you're getting started, sometimes you've not worked for a lot of clients, so you just want to have this thing that keeps on scrolling, right? So let's go to our trust. Let's go to our trust, and then we have remove the color, the background color, and then we're going to have this scroll all over the place. This item are kind of big for me. Yeah, I think they're pretty big right here. So I think they're pretty big, but you can reduce them to the kind of size that you want to. But I think they're big, they're huge, right? And we have all of this. We have all of this inside our ticker, right? So let's click on it. If you click on the play sign, you would see that it's going all the way from end to end, right? You can see we have our site coming alive, right? Things are coming alive gradually, right? So let's go back. So where's our logo? Okay. So I don't know when this happened, but this is our Nav Bar. This is our link on CTA, and this ought to be our logo. Okay. So this is supposed to work. So let's play again. Okay. So not bad. That's fine. So that's the way you would create this, and you can set out how fast it is, the speed, so you can make it 50%, right? You can set out the direction if you want the direction to keep going left, or you want it to go top to bottom. So you can basically set all of those options, and you can see that the speed is way slower now. The next section for us is going to be the benefit section, and that's what we're going to add to our promising landing page. Let's fix our benefit section. So this time we're going to use grid. We've not used grid before. We're going to use grid this time. So let's put our frame in here. So this is our frame, and we're going to give it this layout. The direction is vertical, right? And then here for the width, we're just going to go end to end on the width, and for the height, we're going to give it a big height, you know, pretty huge at this time. And for padding, we're going to give it 24 all around. And as usual, we're going to insert. We're also going to insert another frame, and this frame is going to be on top. Let's name it. So this is going to be our benefit section, right? This frame is going to be benefit test, right? It's going to be on top. And so let's align start, and this right here, it's going to go from end to end. It's going to fill, but we're going to have a max width of 80, so that everything is in there. So for the layout, we're also going to have our layout come from top to bottom, and right here we're going to say benefits, yeah, and then we'll duplicate it. So this here is going to be a H2. Okay, that's going to be H2, and this is going to be a P1. And for the H2, for the P1, we're going to have, for the H2, this one right here, and then for the P1, we're going to have all of these tests, right? We're going to have all of these tests right here. That's pretty huge, right? So let's click this right here, and we'll say feed content, right? And then we have this test also, and we're just going to say fill, right? Fill, and we'll put everything in the middle, and that's going to work. So how about the grid? Let's add the grid. We'll say add layout, and we'll add the grid. Grid is one of the most dynamic, it's one of the most dynamic type of frame, right? It's one of the most dynamic type of frame because you can arrange it everywhere you want. It's used for making some of the most complex layouts that we know. So I'm not going to design inside this grid, but instead I'm just going to put a frame on the outside here. I'll give it the height, you know, any height of my choice, don't worry. And then I'm going to insert an image in here. I'm going to put an image in here. And for the frame, the first frame, I'm going to give it a layout. For this image, everything is going to go from side to side. Fill, let's take everything to start, and I'm going to give it a height of 329, right? That's what I'm going to do. And you can find any image of your choice. And then here, I'm going to add a text to it. So this is going to be my benefit heading, right? My benefit heading. That's what it's going to be, and I will change the heading to say H4, and then I'll duplicate this. Don't worry, I'm duplicating a lot, but let's just get it started with. So I will add this to it, and this right here, I'm going to change it to a P1. So I'm going to change it to, and then right there, I'm also going to make the width a fill, right? And I'm going to put everything in the middle. And I'm going to Ctrl V all over again, put everything in the middle. So right here, you can also set the max width, right? You can also set the max width as a percentage, so it is smaller, right? So I'm doing 80%, that's the max width. And for the stack itself, I'm going to make the height fit content, right? I made the height fit content, and I'm also going to add some sort of padding. I'm going to add some sort of padding here, but before I do so, I'm going to add everything into a stack, right? I'm adding everything into a stack, and this stack is going to be from top to bottom. That's what it's going to be, from top to bottom. And I'm going to add a padding of 12 all around, 24. Okay, I think 24 is a 24. It's my favorite, so it has some sort of a way to breathe. And adding an image here, I'm going to add it from Unsplash, and I'm going to find a cool image from Unsplash to add right there. This right here this right here ought to be your product image, right? So this is our stock, our card. So I'm going to turn this into benefit card right there, and I'm going to delete all the other grid that we have and put it in here. So this is the grid that we have right now. This is our benefit test, and this is our grid. But as you can see, the grid is not showing very well. It's not showing very well, and it's not showing at all. So for the height, we're going to say fit to content. Okay, that's a good start. For the width, we're going to say fill. That's another very good start. But in order for this to show, we're going to click on advanced, and we'll turn the width to say around 200, and we will turn the height to fit to content, right? The mean width is 200 and the height is fit to content, and then we'll just leave it in the middle. So once we do this, we can begin to duplicate the card inside the grid, right, if we want to. But we need to click on the parent container and set it to fit to content, right? And then in here in the grid, we'll need to add the gap, say 24, so everything works well. And then also we need to add some spacing, right? We need to add some gap also between everything. And here you can customize it, right? You can add some padding, you can add some shadows around. Yeah, you can add padding, you can add shadows. There's there is bot shadow, right? You can add bot shadow, you can add radius. I think the best I'm going to do is to add radius of say 12. That's the best I'm going to do on this card. I'm not going to work on this card too much, just going to add radius of 12 to everything. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, as usual, let's take away the color. That's the only way we will see the beauty of what we've done when we remove the color. So you can see we have, okay, this, we have this shadow here. We don't want it, but you can, you can add as many shadows as you want to, but I just want to leave it like this for now, so we are able to understand the fundamentals. Right, so you can add anything you want to add. You can add shadow, you can add border, right? You can add a cool border color like this, and everything is still gonna be all right. So that's the way you would use grid. So in this tutorial, we've used grid, we've used ticker, we have used stock, and one more bonus, right? One more bonus. We can make this sticky. So if we click on this right now, it's not going to be sticky top, right? There are two ways you can make this sticky. First, you can click on this Nav Bar and just make it fist. Just make the type fist, right? And when you click on it, everything is just fist to the top, and it's still pretty sticky. But it's not as cool because you can't see the height anymore. You can't see the content that is in there anymore, right? You would have to keep adjusting the padding when you make it sticky. So we can also, when you make it fixed, right? But we can make it sticky, but we click on the desktop and would say overflow visible, right? If we click on it, you would see it's going to be a whole lot better now. So that's a bonus for this section. Next section, we're going to be creating what? How it works. That's what we're going to be creating. We're going to be creating a how it works section, and I'm pretty sure that that's going to be really straightforward. It's going to be fast, right? Let's go straight to the next section and create how it works. Meanwhile, if you've not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Yeah, that's the only way you can say thank you for giving me this kind of value. If you've followed me to this point, you're doing great. You're doing great. Thank you so much for staying with me. So we've done a couple of sections. Let's add a few more, and I'm pretty sure that you will have everything. You have everything it takes now to build your own, your own application, right? So let's do one more, and I don't want to make this video so long, so let's do one more. And we're going to add the how it works section. That's the section we're going to add, how it works. And once we get how it works ready, then we'll be able to fix the other part, because the testimonials, the FAQs, the call to action, they're just a mixture of everything. So this is a basic firmware website. There's nothing too complex, not a lot of things that are complex. There's no animation, so we're just doing something that's pretty straightforward. So let's go ahead and add how it works to it, and then we'll talk about links, right? Let's add how it works. So click on the plus sign, and again we will add a layout, right? We'll add a frame and we'll name it as usual, and this is going to be how it works, right? So you can design your how it works whichever way you want to. For example, let's check this other site, right? Let's look for if they have something like this. Let's see. Okay, I think everything is in that video. Let's see this one. I think it should be here in this video, right? Maximizing knowledge action. I think you see turn your key asset into reusable components. So I think you see some of these things here: assign roles and key tasks. So you can see there's no one way to create how it works. You can mix everything together. You can mix everything together, and you'll be able to do something very, 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 very useful. Right, so let's create something very easy, something very, very easy. All right, let's go from start to finish. So we have our parent container, and we're just going to give it a fill of 400, right? And then for our desktop, we'll come back to our desktop and we'll say fit to content, right? And then we have this how it works container. So let's add a test in here, and we're just going to say how it works. And of course, we're going to give it a H2, how it works. And then we have a how it works container, and we're filling it with a layout top to bottom, right? And now we're going to add a stack to it. We're going to add another frame to it, right? Just put it right here beneath. And we're going to give it a height of 60, right? And yeah, a fixed height of 60. And yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna give it a fixed height of 60 and a fixed width of 700, right? And for our parent container, we're gonna take everything to the start, and more reason why we should give this padding of 24 all around, so it has a way to breathe, right? Here we're going to add a layout and make everything go from left to right, because we're going to be duplicating it. Then we're going to click insert, and we can add icons, right? We can add icons, in here, this is our icon, and we can change it, right? We can change the way the icon is going to look like differently. The icon is going to be different, so we can change it. See here, we're going to make everything go from start, right? And we can add a padding left and padding right. Padding left 24, padding right 24. Awesome, right? And for our icon, we're going to make it 20. We're going to make it 30 by 30 because we really don't want users focusing on this icon. Then we're going to add a test to it. So this icon, we don't want to give so much focus on this icon because we want users to focus on the test, right? So we have this how it works, which users are going to focus on, and then we have this icon, and we're going to add a test to it right here, right? We can, this is where you just want to say how it works really, right? There's nothing to add to it. You just want to say how it works. You can see the way this works. Upload simple data, right? Start by providing data, blah blah blah. So you just want to really tell users how it works. There's no need beating around the bush. So we're going to duplicate this. So we're going to duplicate this, right? Duplicate, and then we will come back here and just copy this. Don't worry, I didn't generate anything for this course. I'm just going to duplicate it and put the P1. So right here, we're going to stack it, right? Just going to stack it under each other, and we'll put this like this. We'll put it and take everything to the other side, take everything to start, right? And then we will click on this stack, the parent stack, and say feed content, right? Feed content, and have everything go from top to bottom or to the middle, right? And then for this particular stack that we have here, we're going to put a gap, make the gap 4, so everything is close to each other. And then for the upload, we're going to change it. We'll change the upload to some sort of a H6 test, right? So that's how we're going to do that. That's how we're going to do that. And we can put in a radius of 12, right? We can put in a radius of 12. We can add some sort of a border color. So we can add some sort of a border color, some border color to it, and then we will duplicate it, right? We will duplicate it, right? We'll duplicate it, and our parent container here, we're going to say feed content. And let's remove our test, right? Let's remove our test, and this is beautiful. So I'm not very proud of this one. I'm not very proud of this one at all. So let's do something icon a bit different. Just gonna make the icon a bit different, just make it a bit different, right? But okay, and then let's attend to the spacing, in between, to the gap in between, right? So let's add some gap in between 24. Let's also add some gap again. Gap 24. So I'm just adding the gap individually. 24. Okay. So for this, I'm gonna increase it to say 800 because I just want to see how that spacing is gonna give it more beauty, right? So make it 800. So I'm not very proud of how tiny it is, right? 800. So for this, then I'm gonna give it a gap of 24 from each other, and I think this practically makes sense, right? So how it works, you can color it, right? You can add colors if you want to. I don't want to use colors because this is a beginner's tutorial, but you can add as many colors as you want. So this way, okay, so it also seems like this particular content is going out of place. So we're gonna go to so this here is auto. So let's click inner, let's click this inner and say fill, and let's say fit content, so that's gonna work. Let's come back here, say fill. Let's come back here, say fill, and let's come back here and say fill. So we have the how it works, we have all of this. I'm pretty sure that with all of this, you'll be able to create your site right now, right? You're getting how this should work. So let's add one more thing, and that's basically going to be our call to action, right? That's going to be another call to action. For this, users can go to a different page of your app entirely. They can book a call, they can go to your calendar, anything they want to do, it's fine. So let's add one more call to action before we call it a wrap, right? So I'm gonna just increase this to say 5,000. I know 5,000 is a lot, but who cares? I'm gonna increase it to a lot. And so this is how it works. Still gonna add another container so you can see it. It's one interesting ride of adding containers upon containers upon containers. That's what you're gonna be doing. So 600, let's say 400, and I'm gonna change this color to our primary color, right? I'm gonna change it to a primary color and give it some radius. Give it some radius of 12, right? And my border none, and I'm going to add a test to it, and this test is gonna be our primary CTA. That's what the test is gonna be. And I'm just gonna take this from here. I'm gonna take this from here, and I'm gonna paste it here. Ctrl V, and I'm gonna turn it into our H2. Turn it into H2, and then so this is going out of the container. Let's fix it. This is our transform, and this is our frame. Let's fix this in here, and then we'll add a layout to it, and we're going to click this, and we'll just make it fill up the entire container and fit the content and put everything in the middle. And then we'll click on the stack and take everything to the start. Right inside the stack, we're going to add a padding as usual, 24 UX right there. And don't worry, we're going to give it another extra max width. Right, we're going to give it some another max width that's going to work. So let's put something else. Let's put something else. Gonna put something else, some other text at the bottom. I'm gonna put some other text at the bottom, and I'm gonna turn this into a H1. Yeah, I'm gonna turn this into a H1, and then we need to add a button. Right, so this same button that we add here, I'm just gonna copy it. Just gonna copy this button right here and paste it. Right, I'm gonna paste that button. But this time I'm going to make the color primary, and I'm going to make the text itself the primary color, right? And then I'm going to add an icon inside of it. So I'm going to insert an icon. It's going to be a feather icon. It's going to be in there, and it's going to be 28 by 28. And I'm gonna look for a buy icon. I'm gonna look for I'm not sure what it's gonna do, but I'm looking for a buy icon. So let's look for another icon that makes sense. Learning all of this icon, it's not very easy. It's not very easy to, get all of this icon in your head. It's not very easy. So let's continue. In here, I have the In here I have the stack, which is the call to action, so I'm going to name it CTA. And in here I have this other stack, so I'm going to add this, wrap this in a column, and I'm going to make sure everything comes down, and I'm going to pull this everything in the middle center. And in here I'm going to give it a max width. I'm going to give it a max width of 80%. All right, so that everything just you know looks small. And then I'm going to put this in the middle. Right, so let's increase that max width a little bit to say 90%. Right, and then I'm going to turn this into a white, turn this color to my primary, to my white, turn this also to my white, and this also I'm just going to give it a max width also that is pretty tiny. Okay, I'm good. 80%. Okay, so we can use this as our primary call to action, right, at the bottom. And then after this, we'll know that what we have to add is we need to add the footer and a few other links, right? So let's come back to our desktop and we'd say feed content, right? We say feed content, and still on our desktop we can add some padding bottom, say 50. Don't worry, it's just to give this guy a place to breathe, but you're not going to add the padding bottom once you add a footer to it. So once you add that padding bottom to it, you can always remove it whenever you add your footer, right? So that's basically the way it works. Lastly, we're going to learn how to create links, right? We're going to learn how to create links in Framer. But before we do that, we want to add some extra padding to this. I'm not sure it's really cool, so we might want to add padding of 48 to it, and I think that's gonna make it a bit better, right? And for the height, we can fit content now. So we can fit content now, and now we have a padding of 48, and here we have a H2. We can even try H3. I think H3 look great, right? We can try H3 and everything is in the middle. We can put this in the middle. So let's try this in the middle, and we have that in the middle. Okay, so next we're gonna see how to add link to our website, and after that we're gonna call it a wrap. Thank you very much for staying with me. Let's add links to our website. So the last thing we want to do today is to add links to it. To add link to the website, you know, because you want users to take action, and sometimes you want to do internal linking using anchors, and some of the time you want to do external linking because you want your users to take action. So let's do both, right? We have this right here. And we want to add a link to it, so we'll have to go look for it and click on it, right? This is a CTA, right? This one, we want to add link to it. So we have links, and we have this CTA, this one. We want to add link to it, so we can click on the stack that is inside and come here, click on the plus sign, and we'll be able to add a link to it. So let's just say google.com. That's the link we want to add to it. So we want to add that. Say new tab, yes or no. We'll just say yes. I'm going to add the HTTPS to it, but it doesn't really matter because it's going to put it just like that, right? So now we have how to, and then there is another how to, how it works, right? Let's come back here and replace this with how it works, and how at the bottom. So we click here, and we want to link to a section, but we first have to name that section. This section here is how it works. That's the name of the section. right? So let's say scroll section, click on it, plus, right? Because if we don't add this, we will not be able to scroll. We'll say how it works, right? And then we'll come back here. We'll go to how it works right here. Click on the link. We'll link to the same page, which is the home, and then section is going to be how it works. For the scroll, we're just going to say smooth, right? That's what we want it to be. We're just going to say smooth, and the style here, it's dark, right? The style there, it's dark, but we can say light, which is super cool. So let's try both. Click on this, click on the preview, and click on the preview. If you click on this start, you see it opens another page called google.com, and then if we click on how it works, you can see it scroll all the way to this part of the screen, right? So that's basically the way you would create a simple landing page on Framework. There's a whole lot that you can do. There's a whole lot more that Framework provides. You can add animations, you can add very complex stuff, but for what it is, users just want to be able to come to your site, take an action, and mind their business. That's basically what they want to do. Don't forget to create it with Framework, and don't forget to add all of those, all of this framework. Don't forget to use this framework. It's super cool. Everything here needs to be on your landing page before you create it. So thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you. Thank you for staying all this while and just watching. And don't forget, I'm giving you this for free. If you click on the link below, you'll be able to get this for free without paying a dime. I mean, it's going to be a template, or you can go ahead and edit it and use it the way you want to. So if you want to build your landing page for your business, your SaaS business, real estate business, irrespective of the niche that you're in, click on the link below. You'll be able to jump on a call with me, and I'll be able to help you build a very high, super fast converting landing page using Framework. Thank you once again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.